Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with an on-the-fly review for you, and today I'm talking about At Eternity's Gate, released last year, directed by Julian Schnabel, I think, starring Willem Dafoe, Oscar Isaac, uh, and Mads Mikkelsen, the dude who always plays bad guys with fucked up eyes. This is maybe the 374,000th biopic about Vincent van Gogh. Or as Woody Allen would tell you, Vincent van Gogh. Anyhow, even though I liked this movie, I thought it was funny. Well, not really. I don't know why I said funny. It was entertaining. It was well made, artistic, artsy. It was okay. It didn't quite work. For me. Uh, to get up in here, to get into it, the whole setup to the film is, if you don't know, Vincent van Gogh was a 19th century artist who was, like many artists are, kind of a very self-destructive. I don't want to say miserable, but it was miserable. This movie does kind of uh speculate a little bit into Van Gogh's possibility of having mental illnesses that just weren't people just didn't know of at the time. And which is while I'm doing these videos over the last 4 months, I've noticed definitely seem to be the go-to issue with Hollywood right now. Sometimes it's played kind of ludicrously, but it is interesting that I mean, it's nice to know that this is here. Here's a real issue, something that we didn't know about 15 years ago. Uh, that science and experimentation and this kind of shit has really gotten into, and they found out stuff. I mean, I don't know exactly the whole, but they found out stuff, and these kind of, and you can say a little bit of a dull, like with athletes. You mean to say if you get hit in the head 3 times a week, all every day of your fucking life or whatever, you're gonna have brain problems? No, really. Can't tell. I couldn't tell that. Anyhow, with the whole Van Gogh thing was, God, I'm just rambling today. Sorry, I got my mind on other things. The whole thing with Van Gogh is, like I said, he's a legendary artist. I like his work personally, but who will fucking trust my word about art? Uh, I think his stuff is kind of blotchy, but at the same time, it's his style. This film, on the other hand, is kind of just dull. Where, like I said, I did like it. I think it was well made. It is even under 2 hours. Just got the worst pace. Um, and Defoe. I mean, Defoe's good in it. But I would have loved him to have seen him play the part in 1988 or some shit like that. It was actually Van Gogh's age. Uh, I mean, look, Willem Dafoe has been acting longer than Vincent Van Gogh walked the earth. He's older than my dad. He's in his mid-60s. And Van Gogh died in his in his mid-30s. Uh, Other than that, there's always this. I understand why they want to make movies about guys like Vincent Van Gogh and Jackson Pollock, because they were destructive people. They hurt, they had pain, they had stories, and they were these great artists. I don't think Jackson Pollock was a great artist. Uh, But that's the same reason. That's why you don't really see movies about Rembrandt or Dali. And I don't even have to research them. But the reason I can't, I'm just assuming the reason I can't find a movie about Rembrandt or Dali is because they weren't miserable pricks. They they weren't these psychopathic, self-destructive drunks who just everyone hated. Uh, but on a more positive level, I did love I did love what's his Oscar Isaac as Gauguin. Paul Gauguin is very terrific in it, and I always, as many times as I see the story of Vincent Van Gogh, I do always appreciate the incredibly sweet and just something very touching about the relationship between Vincent and Theo. Uh, Speaking of Oscar Isaac, um, oh my gosh, my dad's gonna kill me if I forget the name. Oscar Isaac was actually an actor who worked under a um, actor friend my dad had in college, John Rodaz, I think his name is. And to see him kind of get successful and under like one, two, three uh, degrees of separation there, um, it's nice to know that my dad was in this field of people who were connected to people who who got to success and saw the heights of the industry. Even more so than that, my dad loves to tell the story all the time about him working with this acting teacher who bragged about once throwing a chair at Sylvester Stallone. Anyhow, yeah, it's Eternity's Gate is, I mean, a good movie. I want to give it 3 stars, but at the same time, it's didn't tell me anything I hadn't heard before, and told it far less, more interesting. Oh, if you want to see a movie about Vincent Van Gogh, you should definitely see Lust for Life. 1956, Kirk Douglas and Anthony Quinn is pretty much the exact same movie. I mean, yeah, sure, it's 1956, it's overwrought, over the top, and melodramatic, but it's Kirk Douglas and Anthony Quinn. And as great as actors as Willem Dafoe and Oscar Isaac are, it's great to see Quinn and Douglas play off each other. And again, Kirk Douglas was definitely more mature than him, than Van Gogh was. It's hard for me to think of someone to play Vincent Van Gogh. I guess the first guy that comes to my mind is Eddie Redmayne, but that's just because he's a ginger and he's kind of ugly. Oh God, I might get blocked for 24 hours again because I said ginger. Look, I got redheads in my family. I got gingers I love, so leave me the hell alone. Anyhow, at Eternity's Gate, the only reason I watched this was because Defoe was nominated for an Oscar, and Defoe is a great actor. Even though he's kind of miscast, he is good because he's fucking Defoe. Um, but it's just generic biopic, but well-made generic biopic. Probably because of Schnabel and because of just Bill. Do you call a guy named Willem Bill? Was he still a Bill? God, that's a whole different. I gotta know. Anyhow, I'm Jake Davis. I will catch you on the fly.